Right, it's Q&A session time again. So I've got lists of questions that have built up over the time, so we thought we'd run them through them today and give you some of the answers to those questions, and let's get straight into it. So first question is regarding the wet room in a Grand California. So someone of you has asked about the light. Why doesn't it turn off when you shut the door? So that light is based off motion. So obviously when you open the door, for example, it can detect motion. And there is a timer that's on there as well, I believe. So obviously then it will eventually go off, but obviously it won't go off straight away. And that comes on and off as and when you open the door that's on the Grand California. So that kind of explains that to you. If it's not going off and staying on all the time, then obviously sounds like there may be a little bit of a problem with the vehicle, but that's how it should work, and you should be able to come on and off from on there and bring it on and off for the main light. Next question, somebody's asked regarding the T6.1 or any of that vehicle actually would count it, and it's whether you can direct warm air up into the top bed section of the vehicle. So I'm assuming you're meaning with the heater system that you've got on. So the heater system on the T6.1, so on the ocean or coast or surf, whatever variation you've got there, or beach in actual fact, if you've got that as an option, that pumps the air out from the B pillar and it comes up, and now that is the only way to actually heat that up. Obviously heat does rise, so obviously if you are heating the bottom part, obviously then it will naturally rise up into the top section, but the top section is a lot cooler than that, obviously, because that is where the heat then disperses and goes out of the vents. If you're trying to keep that a bit warm, because I think that's what the person is actually referring to, is that it's a bit cold in the bed section at the top. If that is the case, you can get insulation to go inside the actual vehicle, so to actually keep that heat in the vehicle, and that goes along the canvas that's on there, and you can also get canvas ones that go over the top as well, which pretty much do the same kind of job as well. So I would suggest for those, there's no way of actually pumping air into that section of the roof. There's no vents or anything like that that would go in from on there as well. Obviously I've talked before about taking an electric heater with you, so I've used them. I generally have a little portable electric heater sometimes I take with me, and if I'm plugged into electric that's in there, obviously you can put that on, and you can put that wherever you want then in the vehicle, so that is a slight other option for you as well. Hope that kind of answers the question that's there. Now, we're all excited about the launch of the T7 California, so the new California which is coming out, and somebody asked about pricing to that. They've heard a rumour that there won't be any pricing for the UK until 2025. Now, my understanding is this vehicle is going on pre-sale. Not got any more details from that, and at that point there must be, we'll assume that there will be some form of pricing, whether it's a starting price so you can go, well, I want this, or whether we get the full range of pricing. We're definitely going to get some pricing. We've had an indication of where the pricing is going to be starting from, and I think people have been knowing around the 65,000 kind of mark starting from, and obviously you could be spending 15,000, 20,000 on top of that if you want to move up to the ocean or to the top of the range with your options that's on there as well. I think we can definitely safely say I think one of the vehicles is probably going to be at least at that £80,000 mark, I think, probably for the plug-in hybrid with options that's in there. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what the news is when it comes out and it comes up from on there. But we're certainly going to have that information before 2025 that I'm aware about. I think it's probably more deliveries we're probably talking about at 2025, and that might be where a bit of miscommunication might have come in, because we were talking about this vehicle, to be this year, so 2024. Obviously we can progress that once we've obviously got these vehicles start to go through build. We'll get an indication when they come through, and we'll pass that information to you as well. Will the majority of them start arriving in 2025 that you've ordered? Quite possibly, depending on timescales. But as always, if we get some more information, we get told something, we will let you know. As long as we're allowed to, we will pass that information on for you. Now, while we're talking about that type of vehicle, we'll move on to a question referenced the multivan, and somebody's asked a very good question in actual fact, is can you use the air conditioning or the heating system without the engine running? I always like to give you a yes and a no kind of answer to a lot of these questions sometimes that come in here. So obviously if you've got electric, if you've got power in your electric, in your hybrid battery that's there, then a lot of things will work on the vehicle. You will have to have the ignition on for example, the heating to work. The air conditioning system, you will have to have the engine running for that to be effective, and for that to come through as well. It'd be interesting to see when we get the T7 California, because obviously they could use some of that technology in that vehicle as well. But obviously that vehicle will obviously be in petrol and diesel, and not just in hybrid, so it's going to have to work across the whole board. But this particular question was in reference to the multivan. So yes, you can kind of heating wise, you certainly can without the engine running. Obviously the ignition would have to be on, and you'd have to have it programmed for that to work. Alternative, obviously, for the air conditioning, you're going to have the vehicle running from there. There's never a wrong question as well. If you're thinking, oh, that can't be right, that's in there, pop it in the comments box below. We will answer it if it's there, to try and get that message out as well.